definitely. And I think also another good thing with staffing agencies too is like it's kind of like they're almost doing the work for you in a way, just
That's
because
true.
like you're just kind of planting that seed, like planting that resume, and then they kind of look and see which direction your resume can go in, and
Yes.
see where you'll fit best. And it's basically having two opinions, so it's great. It's like a win-win for each person on each side.
So we're job seeker, right? And we're gonna assume our resume is up to date. We've curtailed it to a job, to the job posting itself, and we've applied to the job. Like, what do we do next? What should we do? We just wait? Do we apply to 500 jobs and just wait? Like, what would you do next?
So after I apply to the jobs, I would definitely, again, with the research, I know a lot of research goes into the whole application process, but look for specific people that you can reach out to. And again, with planting that seed. Hey, I saw the job is open. Is it still available?
How do you reach out to these people?
So,
what do you mean by that?
True, very true. So I guess the most popular way now and the most effective way is through LinkedIn. Definitely use that. It's definitely more business focused rather than like Facebook or like Instagram, where it's definitely more social media, and that's kind of like a marketing area, so that you might not get a response very much on like Instagram. So LinkedIn, I feel like, is a great place where you can go in order to build that connection. And also, I don't know how some people put their emails, like on the website. I would definitely email as well.
Yeah, they have there's a contact us or contact me, or I don't know, contact information section. You can go look that up. So let me take a step back. Reaching out to people on LinkedIn used to be so taboo. It was like, how dare you contact me? Like, contact HR.
Right.
Then HR always tells you the status of your application is, we don't know the status of your application. So you always feel like you're running around in circles.
Right.
And so with LinkedIn, even if you own a business, like, it is the route to go to connect with people that you normally never ever see in real life, IRL.
Right.
Like, you can go onto LinkedIn. First, what I would do is, and you can definitely like chime in anytime. I would definitely go in and look to see the people that actually work for that company. Look to see they're in a leadership position, not HR, because HR has to follow certain rules, which is fine. We understand. And again, in my opinion, this is what I've done, and I'll also give you the story as to like, why this is factual, why this helps. But go on LinkedIn and look to see who might be on that team, or even if they're not on that team, you can always reach out to someone who might know who's on that, like the decision maker of that team, and then they'll put them into the face. So this is what I would do. After you find out who your target person is, right, you can send them, I don't know if you're paying $60 a month or not, or more for your LinkedIn membership, but if you want to like bypass the system, all you have to do is send them a LinkedIn invite or note, whatever, or send the invite, but you can actually add a note to it. So you click on add note and you say, hi, I'm so-and-so. I was, you can say something like, I wanted to add to your stellar reputation. I've applied to this particular role. I would love to be able to borrow some time to talk about how I can be a great fit for the company, or be an asset to the company, something like that. You have a limited amount of characters, so get to the point, but also just be very personable. And then you can enter your phone number and email address on there. I believe you can attach your resume, but that's only with the membership. By the way, sign up for your 30-day free trial, and then you can send messages. I think you can send up to 100 messages. Do that. There's always another way, right? Budget friendly. I don't mind deals and budget. So that's another way. What else about LinkedIn have you seen out there?
So what else about LinkedIn? So
even not only connecting with those people, but you can connect with recruiters. Like, the reason you're connecting with people is because you also see, you get them in your feed. so you know what they're putting. Recruiters are posting jobs all the time, so you want to get in good and like they'll also research a staffing company.
Mhm.
Maybe they'll see if the staffing company is a good fit for you. See what kind of like the ratio is of hires.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I know on your LinkedIn you have some relationships with staffing companies and with recruiters. I know with mine I got a heck of a lot of them. I'm gonna keep it clean.
Right, exactly.
A heck of a lot of them. And so I know what they're doing and I know what they're posting. So you want to jump on that opportunity as fast as you can too, so you can apply.
Exactly.
And since you know who's managing the job, who's managing that requisition is the job order, the job posting. You might hear different terminology throughout this time, but I just want to make that clear. So you get to see what's out there, and after you apply, guess what? There is a real person who posted a job, so you can actually write them on LinkedIn and say, same thing. I was interested in this job. I'm a top performer. You know, talk about yourself, market yourself, and say I would love the opportunity to interview with you because I think that would be great. I know and I believe that will be a great asset to the team.
Right?
Figure out your worth because you need to know what to say.
Yes.
Have you found it hard in the past when someone says, and so what do you do?
So before, yes, I did actually. It's like, oh, do I talk about like my extracurricular activities that don't really pertain to the job?
Who are you?
Yeah.
And you're like,
who am I actually? Like, let me get back to you. But with time, and I feel like definitely finding a career that you are passionate about helps so much because then you'll want to talk more about, what you do, who you are, how you can add value to their company, and how you add value to the company you're at right now. That's one thing that I definitely think is to not do something just for the paycheck at the end of the day, because
you're always going to chase a paycheck, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, if that is it, you will never ever be happy.
Right.
Like, there's a lot more to a job than just pay.
Mm-hmm.
We know that, but we just want to emphasize it. You might know that too, but just saying.
Right, exactly. And another thing too, so like while you're doing all these different things, reaching out to all these different people, I want to make it like a point that not to get discouraged throughout this whole process, just because it can be a little daunting, of course, and time consuming, and then you feel like you might not be receiving what you're putting out. But
applying for jobs is a job.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
But it's a good job.
Yeah, it's like a lot of time, dedication, and work goes into just applying for jobs. So I think that you should be proud of yourself, even if nothing does stick, for the first month. I think you should be really proud of yourself for taking those steps and taking those actions. Because a lot of people, they go into looking for a job with like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And if you're all in, then something will stick eventually. You just have to stick it out and then keep going.
And I think some people might be a foot in and foot out because they don't know. Like, let's say if you're already working a job, I personally know it's always best to look for a job while you have one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't want to do it when you don't have a job because then everything seems so urgent. You're like desperate. Yeah, and then you get so stressed out. And I think it's always best to do it while you have a job. Always have a plan B, C, and D. Mm-hmm. Because you want to look out for yourself. Companies are always thinking about their contingency plans and their continuity plans, so you should too. And because you have to care about yourself the most. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you have a family or not, but you gotta think about them too. Mm-hmm. What you do affects other people, not just yourself. But as far as LinkedIn, okay, I'm going to give you my story.
Oh, yes.
I have 2 LinkedIn stories, so I'm going to tell you one really quick, because this is related to searching for jobs. So there was, and it's about the same job too. So there was this one job, I was making X amount of dollars at one point, and there was another job that would pay me almost 2.5 times how much I was making, right? Wow. So I applied for this job, yes. It was a recruiter position. Well, it's not recruiter, but it has to do with staffing. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to stop there so too many details won't get out.
Right.
Names will not be revealed.
Right.
And so I applied for the job and I saw the recruiter online, and so I reached out to. It happens to be, I reached out to her. I sent her a message, and I was saying, hey, I applied for this job, and she was like, wow, you seem like a really great fit. She was, I'm really brand new to this role, and I don't know much about it. So I was explaining to her the job itself, like. I was kind of helping her to understand, which is great for me because then she knows I know what I'm talking about. So what happened? I didn't hear anything back from her. She said, "Oh, okay, I'll talk to the program manager." I didn't hear anything for like a week, and I say a week because some people wait like months.
Yes.
I don't have time to waste. If I want something, I'm gonna go after it. Exactly. Everything in life, not just the job. And so, with that being said, I reached back out. I looked to see who would have been like her chain of command, and I saw the program manager. I reached out to him, same thing. I was like, hi, my name is Elizabeth. I applied for this job. I think I'm very impressed with your company's reputation. I go on, and then at that time, I attached my resume. It's like, hey, you don't need to go digging for it. Right. Let me go ahead and place this right here for you, so you can look at it right at this moment. He looked it over and he said, wow, I think you have a lot of the attributes that we're looking for in this role. He goes, the recruiter that you were speaking with no longer works here. We have a new one, and she just started looking at the brand new resumes that she received and going forward. She didn't look back at the like old ones. So I was like, oh man. By the way, that was not a staffing company, so don't start thinking that. That was a large corporation. And so things like that, you kind of like, you gotta drive your destiny. And part of that is the reason why I was saying, hey, searching for a job is a job. It's a job when you're looking for a good job. It's not a job when you're looking for something simple and there's several of them. Not that those jobs don't have value, but I'm saying if you want a job that makes you happy and that is meaningful to you, you are going to put in the time and you are going to put in the work because you want to really get something out of it. Exactly. Do we have any so we talked about LinkedIn, we talked about like going on to different job boards, registering with staffing companies, and then we also cover like maybe Indeed. One last thing, also, this always comes up, so I'm going to bring it up. So let's say you're looking for a role, let's say you're an analyst, whatever type of analyst, HRIS analyst, right? Human Resources Information Systems Analyst, and it has a specialist at the end of it. A lot of people think it's a specialist, it's a high level role, as in like they're thinking this equals this, like a lot of it. But some people think, or other companies might say a specialist is more of like a entry level role or an incoming role or someone that is at a different level. So really do your research, and saying do your research is very like vague, like how am I gonna do my research? So I will go onto like a Glassdoor or Salary.com. You can type in, for example, HRIS specialist salary. You Google that, and there's data available for you. So you can price yourself right. You don't want to get, and when it's time for an interview, you don't want them to kind of, but you don't want them to kind of set that standard. Yeah, if it's less than what you, first of all, you got to figure out, okay, what is the least I'm willing to take that makes me happy? Don't let someone else set that for you. You need to know that because you'll be asked that question. So in your job search, it's important to know how much do you want to get paid in this role, whether it's for a short period of time or a long period of time. Like you might say, for right now, I accept this, but in the future, I want it to lead up to that. So see if there's growth in the role itself. That's important. Yes. Anything else that you want to add about job search, or maybe anything that we didn't cover?
So
there's so much.
So much. So basically, I think that we covered all of the main points. So research, very important. To keep a good mindset always. Yes. Stay strong. Exactly. Just continue to talk to people, get to know people along with your job search, because you never know if that person knows someone, and that employer could be that exact person that they've been looking for. So they could be feeling the same way you're feeling, very like discouraged, down. I'm never gonna find this job. I'm never gonna find this person. So
you're right.
it could be a match. So
They want you to be that person.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a